The Polish Speaker of the Sejm does not intend to retract his words about the President of the United States. Let us recall that Włodzimierz Czarzasty stated that Donald Trump is violating international law, harming international organizations, applying a policy of force, and therefore does not deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. The opinions expressed by the second most important person in the country were met with a sharp response from the U.S. ambassador to Poland, Tom Rose, and a decision to break off contact with the Marshal. Włodzimierz Czarzasty, the post-communist Speaker of the Sejm, decided to share his opinion on U.S. President Donald Trump with the Polish people. This is a violation of political principles, values, and often international law, customs policy, a different interpretation of history, for example, regarding the participation of Polish soldiers in missions, the instrumental treatment of other territories, such as Greenland. Czarzasty's opinion is a reaction to the idea of awarding the U.S. President the Nobel Peace Prize. The speaker's words caused a political storm. The U.S. ambassador announced that Washington was severing all ties with the post-communist Marshal. Mr. Włodzimierz Czarzasty has not moved on from post-communism. During the communist era, the communists considered the United States to be their greatest enemy. Today, the post-communists also seem to treat the United States as their greatest enemy, and certainly not as an ally, because our greatest military and economic ally is the United States. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk added fuel to the fire in his usual style. Mr. Ambassador Rose, allies should respect, not lecture each other. At least that is how we, here in Poland, understand partnership. Such contemptuous statements, especially from the Prime Minister towards the United States, the U.S. Ambassador, and the President's representative, certainly do not foster a good atmosphere in relations with our ally, which is why I view the Prime Minister's actions very negatively. The Prime Minister's scathing post provoked a reaction from the U.S. Ambassador in Warsaw. Dear Mr. Prime Minister, I'm assuming your thoughtful and well-articulated message was sent to me by mistake, because surely you intended it for the Speaker of the Sejm, Włodzimierz Czarzasty, whose despicable, disrespectful, and insulting comments about U.S. President Trump were so potentially damaging to your government. Because the game is about Polish-American partnership, both economic and military, we asked about the international scandal caused by Speaker Czarzasty and Donald Tusk's post. President Karol Nawrocki's meetings with President Donald Trump and the U.S. administration, as well as the invitation to the G20 summit to be held in December this year, show that these relations are really very good, and it is sad to see the Speaker of the Sejm simply demolishing these good Polish-American relations in the name of particular political interests. The left wing of the December 13th coalition rushed to the aid of their speaker as one man. Today, we stand with full responsibility on the side of Speaker Czarzasty, who behaved like a statesman. These words are strange, to say the least. How can you call someone a statesman who publicly shares his private opinions with society? This is in line with the extremely pro-Russian trend of the European left, which we have discussed, and it is continuing. This is also in order to pursue not our Polish interests, but the interests of the European left. We asked for comments on the anti-American actions of the current government in the Sejm. Poland is a sovereign country. Our politicians are sovereign politicians and have the right to their own opinion on the matters they speak about. And that is my comment on your question concerning the ambassador and Speaker of the Sejm, Włodzimierz Czarzasty. I did not feel at any point that the President, Trump, or the ambassador to Poland were offended. Prime Minister Tusk also emphasized that relations are very good and that we respect our allies. Here was the other side that reacted somewhat overreactively. Those who rule Poland today are trying to push the United States out of Poland. More than that, they are trying to push America out of Europe. This is deadly dangerous for Poland. It is in Germany's interest, but it poses a threat, a fundamental threat to the security of our country. It seems that the current authorities have once again forgotten that it is the United States that acts as a counterweight to Putin's Russia in Europe. Of course, we should seek to calm the situation and build good relations, but we must also remember that we are a sovereign country, and no ambassador can, in quotation marks, beat us over the head, no matter which of our officials it concerns, whether it is the president of the country or the Speaker of the Sejm. The fact that we are in NATO is a very important important guarantee of security for us. Today, a strong NATO alliance and a strong European Union are extremely important for Polish security. However, this does not mean that we have to be on our knees and agree to everything the United States says.
Nie bądźmy naiwni.
Let's not be naive and think that officials in Brussels or Berlin will defend us against possible Russian aggression. It is Polish soldiers who will defend us, together with American soldiers. We must do everything we can to increase the potential of American soldiers on Polish soil, because that is a guarantee of our security. There are about 10,000 U.S. Army soldiers stationed on our soil. This is thanks to the law and justice government and the relations it has maintained with every U.S. administration, whether Democratic or Republican. At the moment, these relations, our security, and the security of the Polish state are at risk, precisely because Donald Tusk has also signaled to his coalition partners that we should jeopardize these relations with the Americans. You don't have to be an expert to know that our security depends on the American military presence in Poland. The problem is that the traditional allies of the current prime minister are not in Washington, but rather in Berlin.
Tak naprawdę realizują tą politykę.
In reality, they are implementing the policy imposed here by Berlin. This is very dangerous for Poland. It is very dangerous for our country. We base our security on the Polish army, but in reality, our second proven ally is the United States.
Jawne
A
osłabienie.
clear weakening of our position on the international stage. Today in the Kremlin, today in Minsk, they are popping champagne corks because of Speaker Czarzasty's behavior and Prime Minister Donald Tusk's arrogant, misguided, and inappropriate reaction. This is not how international politics should be conducted.
Te sygnały
These anti-American signals are coming from this government nonstop. This is because Donald Tusk, without reflection and with full awareness and determination, is committed to sticking to the German dress, as one might say in such a metaphor. He is fully committed and invested in European politics, which is now at odds with the United States. The problem with the Prime Minister is that he himself does not seem to realize that his position at the forefront of European opponents of the United States does not even help him in European courts.
On w tej Europie jest tam takim
He
niepotrzebnym
is an unnecessary element in Europe and does not benefit at all from investing in Europe by pushing out the United States. We are losing on both sides, and as long as such a government exists in Poland, and let's hope that this will change in 2 years, we will unfortunately be in a situation where we are losing on all sides, and the threat from the East continues to exist. Unfortunately, everything indicates that we will still have to deal with the government's anti-American policy.